All right, let's get it. Let's get it. So I'm actually gonna step out of the way, guys. We're actually gonna bring up an individual, somebody that that I know has been putting in the work, and I want you guys to be focused, be present, be here. Not, I know how easy it is when your camera's off and you can just tune into your phone and get distracted. Be here for the next 30, 40 minutes, whatever it is, and really take in what we're going to share with you, because I know what it takes to create trading results. I know what it takes to become consistently profitable. I know what it takes to build a multiple 5+6 figure portfolio. I know what it takes to create consistent residual income. And I want to be able to pour into you guys and give you that. And if you're not where you want to be, lock in, pay attention. But this next individual, I've seen her continue to step up the bar, like raise the bar, raise her standards, continue to be consistent and show up even in the midst of adversity, even in the midst of chaos, when life's just beating on her and you don't feel like you're getting a break. I've seen her consistently step up and choose to lead out of faith and not choose to lead in fear when the world's just coming down on you. It's so easy to fall victim to things and point the finger and blame and complain and all these things. But I've seen this individual not move into that temptation, but continue to, move and elevate herself higher and just be a product of the product. Just really be a testimony of what's possible when you stay consistent, when you stay diligent, when you continue to plug in and persevere. It's incredible to watch, others grow. And Alex has been somebody that's done that, that's doing that, and is continuing to empower other people to also do that through her example. So I'm gonna get out the way. She's gonna kick off this call officially with some of the things that have been not only working for her, but really drive home a message coming from her heart to yours, and how this whole thing can make sense for you, and maybe give you one little gem, one little piece that can fill that gap from where you're at and where you want to go. So I'm gonna get out the way. I'm gonna mute myself, and you're gonna take over the call, and we're gonna go from there.
All right. What's up, everyone? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Shout out to Abby for putting on this call. You guys already know Abby is a go-to person that you can always count on. So appreciate you. And yeah, just drop some fire for Abby. But guys, I just really wanted, I'm not going to take up too much time because I know Abby wants to go over a few other things, but I wanted to kind of touch on the mindset to have on this current market cycle we're in. Because like, just to zoom out, a lot of us, I don't know everyone, but their age and everything, but a lot of us, majority of us, this is our first time experiencing a potential recession as an adult. I don't know about you guys, what age you were at 2008, but I was not able to participate in that. And just by tuning in to Go Live, I watch Curtis Cobain, Mike Sotero, literally almost all the DCX educators, with a handful that I don't. But basically what I'm trying to say is that this is our time. I don't know how else to like put it other than this is a time to take advantage, because when 2008 hit, that's when a lot of entrepreneurs that we know nowadays, like the Grant Cardones, the Gary Vee's, the Tai Lopez, all the other entrepreneurs that now, they took advantage of 2008. That's when they were conceived. That's when there was a recession, if you didn't know. But this is the time to lock in. I don't know how to stress that more than I did, but some of the things that I'm doing, obviously I'm watching Go Live minimum 1 hour a day. Like, that's a non-negotiable for me. And I'm locked in. When I tell you Curtis Cobain, that's my dude, that's my guy. And then obviously taking trades, and I'm really big on NFTs. So if you guys have any questions about that, obviously feel free to let me know or feel free to ask. But take advantage, because it does take a different level of mindset to really know what's going on. And you're not going to get to that level of mindset without one, experience, and then two, lessons along the way. So like you got to be in the trenches. You can't be on the sidelines, just watching Bitcoin do its thing. No, every day I lock in. Even though Bitcoin barely moved the dollar or whatever it may be, I want to know exactly what's going on in the market, any news, any events. Because here's the thing, with the current market conditions, the US is, and maybe other countries too, but they're tightening up on money. So with that being said, I believe as an individual, you should also be tightening up on your money, meaning you shouldn't be lollygaggling with your money. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm saying like you should be on top of your budgeting, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Because, like I said, there's not going to be an opportunity like this. Last recession was 2008. This one, they're saying it's not official yet, but I mean, we see the numbers. We know what's going on. We can see and read between the lines if you're actually locked in and watching Go Live, because they update you. So I'm just saying, take advantage of what's going on right now. We are living in a time where blockchain technology, crypto, a lot of new technology is in place that was not in place prior. So all I can say is stay ready, be prepared to make moves. If you're not doing already, this is a great time to be in the markets and learning in general. And one more thing that I do as well, I do read books on financial literacy. Good one is Richest Man in Babylon. I think it's on YouTube. If someone wants to drop the YouTube link, shout out to Marin. She had all of us hear it. There's some basic money principles you gotta get down that go hand in hand with investing. And then two, Robert Kiyosaki. That's my dude. He will teach you some stuff on financial literacy. So this is just time to sharpen your mindset, get yourself right, so that few years down the road, you and your family are set up for some wealth, and you didn't just sit this out and do nothing. Right now it's time to take action, investing into yourself, your education, and lock in. But that's all I gotta say. I do have something at the end for you guys, so stay tuned, and I'll hand it back to Abby. Thank you.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Guys, drop some sevens in the chat for Alex to jump on here real quick and just kind of share a little bit about what she's doing, what she's been really, preparing for herself, the action steps that she's been embodying and things like that, and just giving you a little taste of kind of what to be mindful of right now. And if, a lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about too today is I'll start off with this. It's not necessarily we get into this zone where we want to consume. And I've talked about this on previous calls. I hear it all the time from Mike Navarrete. He's a Go Live educator on the FRX and DCX side. And he talks about how, it's not necessarily the fact that you need more information, you need new information. What you actually need are reminders for the information that you've already got. Application of that information. It's not enough to know what to do. You must do what you know. And that's the principle. That's the concept behind it. And Alex does a very great job at not just taking all this information in, but applying it, doing what she knows, holding her feet to the fire. And the way that you do that is getting to events, getting to conventions, showing up to calls, getting outside your comfort zone in areas that allow you to stretch and expand. Because you can't grow either, any other way. You can't grow in your bubble, in your comfort zone. So we're going to kick off this call, guys. Alex, I appreciate you for stepping up and just sharing that with everybody, giving us some perspective, something to think about moving forward. So I'm going to go over 3 things tonight. We're going to kind of chop it up and really roll through this. I'm going to ask you guys some rhetorical questions for you to hone for yourself, reflect on, review, and really let it sink and get clear on, get real about. But I wanted to say this. I said it the last time. I'm going to say it again because it's so relevant. It's so true. The one thing that's probably holding you back is your greed and your doubt. The one thing that's probably holding you back in your trading, in maybe your investments, maybe your business that you're trying to build, maybe it's your day-to-day life, maybe it's a promotion at your job, like whatever it is your greed and your doubt. Okay. Successful, like professionals, individuals that have really gained maturity in what they're doing, they've recognized that it's okay to be greedy, it's okay to be fearful, but in the right seasons, in the right market cycles. The difference maker between the average person in the market and the professional is the average person is greedy and doubtful, like all over the place. Like they bounce around from one to the other, and there's no strategy, there's no plan, there's no formula as to why they're being greedy or doubtful in that situation, in that season. Where the professional knows when to be greedy. They're greedy when others are fearful, and they're fearful when others are greedy. And they understand that the market doesn't necessarily repeat itself, but it definitely rhymes. And they understand when the market cycle, let's say it's a bearish market, or this, what Alex just talked about, we're in a recession. Okay. They understand the season where they're at, and they're not insecure. They're not in fear of where they're currently at, but they're focused on where they're going, and they have a plan of action to back it up. So I want to just kick it off with that. But the first thing that we're going to dive into on this call is kind of a turn of things that we usually talk about. But I'm going to show you guys how to take properly swipe coin trades, and you can apply this to any tool. Okay, any tool pretty much that you're using, whether it's on crypto, forex, binary options. Okay, binary options may be a little different because it's not necessarily about risk to reward because it's time based. But I'll say forex and crypto, you can apply this principle. Okay, how to take swipe coin trades properly so you get the biggest bang for your buck. You're not just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks. You're actually there's strategy behind it. There's logic behind it. There's a plan. Okay, I'm going to talk about who's the best educators on the platform that you should be watching, and we're going to dig into things that you don't know. Okay, so I want to kick it off with this real quick. These are rhetorical questions. You don't have to answer them in the chat. These are for you, but I want you to ask yourself. This is kind of a checklist that you can give for you and for anybody that's new that you're talking to that's getting access. Okay, have you gone through the Academy videos? So if you're on crypto, the DCX, have you gone through those? FRX, same thing. Okay, have you gone through the Academy videos? That's number one. Two, do you have a weekly schedule of who you watch on Go Live? Okay, I'll be honest. There's some days where I don't watch Go Live because there's just so much going on, and I just didn't do it. Alex is way better than me. She has her non-negotiables, for Go Live. It's like that's the first thing I do. I knock it out. It's like I'm not skipping it. It's like leg day. Like people skip leg day. It's like I could just skip out now. I'm just kidding. But you got to have a weekly schedule. Okay, you have to have a weekly schedule of who you're watching on Go Live, and I'm going to talk about that in a bit on why it's so important that you have regularity and consistency in who you're tapping into, who you're plugged into, who's charging you up, what are the voices that you're hearing. Okay. Third thing is, are you using a tool, and how are you using that tool? I'm gonna get into it right now. Are you using a tool, or are you just kind of winging it? Are you like, I don't want to use the tool because I don't want to be dependent on it? Let me maybe flip the script in how you view things, because you don't want to have that mentality, because you're already rooting your actions in fear. You're already basing things out of fear when you speak that way. The tool isn't there for you to be dependent on it. The tool is there for you to better understand, for you to gain awareness that you didn't have before, for you to cut your learning curve in half, for you to not make mistakes that you were going to make doing it alone. Okay. Are you using a tool, and how are you using that tool? Did you guys know that there's a difference between taking trades, right? There's a difference between just taking the trades, trying to make a quick buck. I said that like 3 times. I never say that line. Okay. There's a difference between taking trades, just trying to make a quick dollar, versus taking the trades from that tool, from that educator, from that scanner, from that strategy to understand. And my question for you guys is to really dig deep after this call sometime soon, reflect and really get truthful of how am I taking my trades? Am I taking these trades just to kind of hope something happens? Hopefully, these educators know what they're doing and my trade's going to win. Okay. Or, I hope I hit it big tonight. I hope my trade, doubles my account, or I hope I don't blow this account, whatever. Okay. What's your mentality? What's your approach when it comes to taking your trades and the tool that you're using? Because we want to move into that. I know pretty much how long everybody's been a part of the platform who's on this call, and I'm confident in sharing with you that if you are not consistently profitable in your trading journey yet, you should. I'm encouraging you to leverage a tool to help cut your learning curve in half. Okay, to help lessen the mistakes and the pain emotionally and financially that you will experience. Okay. But it's consistency. It's not just, when I feel like it, when I want to, when it's convenient. It's consistently over time. But if you don't want to use the tool, accept the fact that it may take longer and may be more painful than it needs to be. Okay. Cool. We all on the same page? So there's a difference. How are we taking trades? What is our approach? What's our view? And I'm going to break down how to actually take some of these swipe coin trades. I'm going to give some examples. I'm going to share my screen. But something that Mike Navarrete, he's an educator that I watch every single week. Minimum, like if I don't watch a Go Live session that day, and it's very rare, like I've already watched my session for today. And it's not just, I need to check it off because I need to, just go through the motions. It's when I'm in the locker room, like I am locked in. It's you and me, Mike. It's what are you teaching? What are you teaching me? What are you reminding me? Okay. What he says on, I love this. It's part of his confirmation checklist. He says, before you trade, write this down. Before you trade, ask yourself, how's the T? Maybe if some of you guys have tuned into a session, you've heard him say that. How's the T? T is an acronym, and T stands for TEA, sipping tea. TEA, T stands for thoughts. How are your thoughts before I take this trade? E is emotions. How are my emotions? What am I feeling? What's going through my head? Am I reactive right now? Did I just have something happen? Am I just trying to get into this trade to make a quick buck? What are my emotions like right now? Okay. And A is actions. Okay. What are my next actions? What are my next action steps? Very important. And these are things that I used to overlook. I used to underestimate. But it cost me some else. And that's the thing about it too, is like everyone tries to judge themselves and even blame other things or other people based on how long they've been a part of something and the results that they've seen, but they never take a reverse look at what they've been doing along the time that they've been involved. And also, everybody has a different approach when they get started. Some people come in and they already have an investor, business owner mentality. So they're not really unlearning a lot of things that maybe somebody that only has ever been taught, how to think like an employee. They don't understand risk management. They've never even been taught something like that before. I didn't. I had so many things I had to unlearn before I could start relearning the right things. And none of us take that into consideration as to maybe why our process is a little longer, why we have to go through certain things. Maybe I heard something, maybe we are on the same Go Live session. And who's on this call? We were on the same Go Live session. Okay. And, see Marin's camera on. Marin and I are on the same Go Live session, and we hear the same thing. And Marin gets it on the first try, and it takes me 10 times to hear it. And then it clicks. Right. And sometimes that's our process, and we're judging ourselves for the wrong reasons. And we're not even recognizing that we're hearing it, but we're not listening, or our awareness is here. And the way that they're speaking is up here. And we just haven't caught it yet. A lot of the stuff that we need to learn, it's not going to be we're not going to learn it when it's taught. We're going to it's going to be, you're going to catch it. It's Justin Owen says it best. If you heard Israel, you know what I'm talking about. But a lot of stuff you have to be reminded of. Okay. So I'm going to break this down in just a second. I just want to share this one last thing. if you want to write this down, it's not about, this is another, it's, I guess, a misconception. But it's not about winning all of your trades. And I think some of us can say like, oh yeah, I know that, I know it's not, I'm not going to win every trade, but when it comes down to like you and your trade and it's in the negative and you're like, thinking about, should I get out of this trade? Should I just let it ride a little bit longer? Should I move my stop loss, a little lower? Like, you're not following your plan, and you're still operating out of fear. You're still operating on defense. You're still operating in survival. It's not about winning all the trades. I'm going to give you guys a quick example. The month of July, I've really documented my trades for the first time in a long time. I was just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm taking these trades, I'm growing my account, this and that. I documented every single thing I did in the month of July. And it was one of the best things I did. I documented every single penny I spent, every single, dollar I put in my savings account, every single dollar I moved to my investment portfolio, every single dollar I made or lost in my trading account. I documented everything, and I reviewed, I was like, I need to do this every month because I am on top of my ish. And I took, some of you guys may have saw me posted in the chat. I kind of went back and reflected on it today. I took 20 trades in the month of July. Okay. And I won 9 of them. I won 9 trades out of 20. And I was looking at all the red, and I was like, how, but I was, and this is the point, is I was profitable for the month of July, and not just by a little bit. Like, guys, I was 45% accurate for the month of July. I don't know who needs to hear this. I know when I saw it, I was like, you haven't done the math like this in a long time, especially in crypto. It's seeing it in real time. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you can be profitable and not have to win all the trades. Not even come close to win. I wasn't even over halfway. I think I was telling the team the other night I was 54%, and then I redid my math today and I was actually 45% accurate. Okay, 45% accurate, and I was still profitable. Not by a little bit. I grew my account by 39% in the month of July. And I'm not on here to brag or boast about it or anything. I'm trying to give you guys a testimony that this works, and it works if you work it, if you give yourself the time, if you give yourself the consistency, and stop judging yourself so much, but also apply some pressure. Okay, we get negative pressure, but we have to make sure it's not because of our own doing. You didn't put yourself in that position. It's because that's the process. That's the price that must be paid. So hopefully that testimony that I created in July maybe gives you guys a sense of belief that you lay off, let your losses, just follow your plan, have a plan, but let them ride, let them do its thing. I had a trade today. Shout out to Mike Navarrete. I've been plugging into Pip Talk. Y'all are on Pip Talk. Oh my gosh, find your educator, see if they're as active as these guys. Mike Navarrete is active. He posts probably 10 different times a day, and I love it. I'm always like, oh, what's going on? He sends his trades out, and I'll just go on and map it up with my strategy. And I'm not just trying to take the trades. I don't take the trades when he calls them out. I map it out to understand. And I promise you, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. But he'll call out, and you can follow what's going on. He called out a trade to yesterday for GBP USD, got in the trade, woke up, and it was pretty much about to hit my take profit. And I was like, that was the first trade I took this month. And I look back within the last 7 days, I took 8 trades. I know it's kind of crazy. I took 8 trades in the last 7 days. You know how many I've won? 3, but I'm up. Like I'm profitable. I didn't calculate the percentage that I'm up on my account. But I'm up, and it's not by a little bit. Like it's kind of crazy. Like it's ridiculous. But when you have proper risk management, when you're consistent in that risk management, your risk to reward, that can happen for you. But we're all over the place. We're trying to swing it. We're trying to hit home runs. Like, just get on base, baby. Just get on base. So we're going to talk about real quick. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go over this trade. Okay. How many of y'all are ready? Type a 5 in the chat if you're like, Abby, let's get to it. Come on, let's move it. All right, let's go. Okay, we are in here. Okay, everybody can see my screen. Hopefully we are familiar with this site, or at least the app. If you have DCX, you have access to this. You have the Elite Pack, you'll have access to this as well. Okay, I wanted to just touch on this real quick. Does everybody know? Type a 1. Let's do this. Type a 2 in the chat if you don't know the difference between leverage and exchange ideas. And it's okay, just be honest. If you do not know the difference between leverage and exchange, type a 2 in the chat. Everybody else. Awesome. Okay. Well, great. Let's just dive into it. They actually just called out a leverage idea, so maybe we could show this. So Mike just actually called this trade out for Polkadot. I can go over that one too, but let me give you guys an example of this Bitcoin trade. Shout out to Diane. Diane and I were having a conversation at our meetup the other night, and we were breaking down how to take some of these trades. And this goes back to, are you taking the trade just to hope and pray this hit your take profit and you make some money, or are you taking the trade to really like create sustainability? The question I always ask myself when I go to take this trade is, if I do what I just did, is it going to allow me to become consistently profitable? If I do what I just did on this trade, is it sustainable? Is it going to allow, like, is this something that I can do on every single trade and be consistently profitable? Because if it's not, like, I'm not going to be profitable. I'm not even going to be consistent. Okay. So this is a trade on Bitcoin. Okay. Whoever was calling it, it doesn't matter whether it was whether it won or it lost. That part doesn't matter. Okay. What matters is your risk management, because everyone's like, oh, I took these trades and I've lost 2 or I've lost 3. And, these educators just don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, listen, honey, okay, listen, let me show you a little something, okay, on this chart. I actually think this is the one that we went over, but let's see. So I'm on the 4 hour. I always like to look at the time frame. So he's calling it out. Everyone see the H1. This is going to be a game changer for some of you guys on this call when you see this, okay? So a lot of times what we do is we'll get this trade and we want to hurry up and put it in our account. And there's no like context as to what we're doing. And we want to make sure that there's risk management involved. And yes, the educator that's providing you with the idea is going to give you some sense of risk to reward. Okay. And what I mean by that is they might, some of these guys, based on their strategy, some of them actually have a 1-to-1, a 1-to-2, a 1-to-3, a 1-to-5. But if you don't know your accounts, like if you're not taking into consideration your account size, the lot size that you've got to use, the lot size that your account can handle, your proper risk management, like are you risking 2% on your account and nothing more? Okay, are you being consistent with that? These are all factors that play into it. And majority of the time, guys, we aren't even aware of these things because we're not taking trades to understand. We're taking trades just to try to make some quick money. And it's like it's not sustainable. It's cool in the beginning. It's like, oh my gosh, I made some money, but how long can you do that? How much longer can you do that? So wait, why did this go here? All right, Bitcoin, here we go. Hopefully, oh, that was Cat CHF. That was my fault. All right, we're on the 1 hour. Danny called this out. I don't remember what day, but let's just find the numbers. So let's say, for example, this might take like a good 5 minutes or so. So hang with me. I promise it's going to make some sense. Diane, you saw, you were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And it's not me, guys. I didn't learn this. Like, it's not my thing. I learned it from the educators. I just plug in. Okay. So what I'm using on TradingView, okay, and you can even do this on like the scalper site and everything, but I like to go to TradingView. I'm going to go to the long or the short position. So short position is for a sell, which is, what he's calling out here for the market to go down. It's bearish. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is let's pretend we're going to take entry 1, suggested idea entry 1. Okay. What a lot of people do is they'll take one or the other and they'll just kind of like, choose an exit idea and there's no risk management, or they'll take both of these and then they'll both lose. And then they lose, more than 2% on their account. And they're like, what happened? It's like, well, you didn't set it up correctly to be profitable. So let me explain. So the profit or the take profit, oh my gosh, the entry is 2,300. All right, come on. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's try this. Oh, maybe I need to have a decimal. No. What's going on? Do you know what's going on now?
I would move your, basically kind of line it up closer to the price entry because your,
Oh yeah,
like you see your box, it's all weird.
yeah, you're right. Okay, let's try this. So let's say I'm gonna do, all right, I'm gonna change that in a second. All right, my invalidation zone is 24.1. Okay, perfect, that stays. And then my, let's say we're gonna do exit number 1, okay? 22,900. My exit is 22,900. Oh my God. Somebody called them. 911. Okay. Anybody know that song? Or you didn't hear me? Oh my gosh. I promise you, this was not happening the other night. I just don't know what's going on. Oh my gosh. All right, whatever. Let's just leave it like this. This looks crazy. Let me move it on the higher time frame so I can does this look right? You guys are like, Abby doesn't know what she's talking about. All right, let me try this. I'm gonna just do something different. All right, so let's say I'm gonna get in at 2,300. Okay, say it's like right here. Okay, and what was my invalidation zone? 22. No, 24.1. Okay, 24,100. I promise I've got a point, guys. I promise. Okay, 24,100, and let's say the you guys remember the take profit? It was 22. Oh my gosh, I keep clicking this thing. 22. You guys ever been on Zoom and like you hit the top screen and it just like won't go away? That's what's happening. That's why I'm delaying. 22,900. Thank you. Okay. 22,900. Look at this. Okay. This is 100 pips. Is that right, Al? Is that right? 22. No. You guys, you're not helping me out. The entry is 23,300. That's why.
Yeah, 23,300.
All right, look. Okay, there we go. All right, everybody still with me? I promise I'm getting to a point. Okay, look, 23,300. Thank you everyone for letting me know I was calling it wrong. Invalidation zone 24,100, 22,900. Now look at this. Okay, this is somebody that's going to take the first entry, the first exit, and this is their stop loss. This doesn't make any sense. You're not going to be profitable on this. You're gonna risk way more than you're actually going to gain. This is not a trade. The juice is not worth the squeeze. Y'all get me? This is not worth the squeeze. So no, we're not. Like, this is why I mark it up before I put it in, even if it's going to take off right away. Who cares? I'm literally going to miss the trade. It's okay. I'll wait. Like, I'm waiting for the market to come to me. So let's say I'm going to put in idea exit number 2, 22,400. Okay. You would still be up. I don't know when he called this out, but you would still be up if it's right now. But the juice is not worth the squeeze. 22,400 puts you about right here. Okay. It's still a 1-to-1. Like, no, we can't do that. Exit 3. Let's see if this makes sense. 21,700. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, we're getting into a 1-to-2, which, okay, look. Okay, this is why they do 2 entries, because they want to give you the opportunity to create, like, have some sort of ability to like maximize the trade. But if your account size can't handle a Bitcoin trade, you shouldn't be taking the trade. Okay, if your account size and the risk management doesn't make sense, you shouldn't be getting into this trade. Okay, you've got to do what makes sense for where you're at right now and be practical about it. You can't be delusional with the results that you want in trading right now. You can have big grandiose goals, but you've got to stay disciplined and practical in your day-to-day. So for me personally, guys, this is not even a 1-to-3. I wouldn't take the first entry. I would want to look at the second entry, 23,700, which would put me about right here. Let's say, look, that's a 1-to-5. Y'all see the difference? I'm okay with missing the trade because the juice ain't worth the squeeze if it doesn't hit my entry point. I'm okay with waiting for the market to come to me so I can at least get a 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. The whole purpose of me trying to show this to you is because when you take these trades, whether it's through Swipecoin or whether it's through the scalper, okay, or whatever tool you use, you want to make sure before you just throw in some entries, throw in some numbers, you know, hope and pray it goes wherever, that you actually line up your risk to reward. This is why I was able to be 45% accurate in the month of July and still increase my account by 39%. Because every single trade I take, I make sure my risk to reward makes sense for me. They're just giving you some basic general parameters of what they're looking at in the market based on this. Like, it's more about the structure and the zone of where price is at, and telling you, hey, prices at this zone, prices at this area, the market is, you know, showing that it could drop here or it could go up here. It's your job as the student to start to discern and have a level of understanding of what's going on. Like, we, you know, you don't want to be dependent on the tools. Well, what's going on with the markets? Okay. So drop hopefully that made sense. Drop a 2 in the chat if you're with me, if you follow, if that made sense, if we're clear. Don't say anything at all if you're confused. Hopefully we get some 2s. Okay. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Dustin, are you throwing a fib on it, or is that enough? I do throw a fib on mine. If you've learned fib and it makes sense for your plan, you can definitely do that. Most of my trades that I personally take, when I'm using a tool or I'm getting an idea from the educator, I am leveraging Fibonacci. I'm trying to give you an example. Like this right here, this green line, or these green lines right here, this was a fib that I had drawn for a sell position. So basically, Mike Navarrete called out this trade for a sell, and we drew a fib on the zone. And I was like, cool, this aligns with my plan. And when it got to the zone, I wasn't tracing the trade. I was like, this is my entry. And this was this was a 1 to 3. You guys can see 1 to 3. And I wasn't going to take it if it was anything less. So you have, and this is something that's kind of learned over time. And hopefully this can maybe like kind of increase your, increase your time frame from from not knowing to knowing and now applying. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, but with scalper setup is ready. Okay, that's cool. Maybe we can pull that up. Cool. Yeah, but the thing is, like, you just have to know your plan, and you kind of learn your plan over time. The tools will help you. The tools will help you recognize what your plan is as you're applying, as you're making mistakes, as you're figuring out what works and what doesn't work. Figuring out yourself. How do you feel when you're in a trade that's negative? Did you over leverage? Things like that. Okay. So, all right, we're going to get into this last part and we're going to wrap up the call. I really wanted to give you guys that example. Like my biggest goal of coming in here today was to build your belief and, give you guys a sense of clarity and perspective on just something that can help fill in the gap of where you are to where you want to go. But giving you that risk to reward, because that's probably, there's a lot of missing pieces. That's probably one of the missing layers for you and your ability to become profitable. I know it was for me, and I know it is for a lot of the educators, a lot of the educators before they were educators. Really quick, this was kind of a silly question that I asked, because I get this question sometimes. Best educator on the platform. Who are the best educators? The best educator is the one that works best for you and your schedule, and also is compatible with your personality. There's educators on here that are very detailed, organized, to the point, have a very simple message, and they're very logical, and that's how some people learn. And that's maybe what you're going to want to gravitate to more. And then there's other people that they're a little bit more fun. They add a little bit more flavor and humor into their teaching, and maybe that's more up your alley. So you got to kind of test the waters. Don't just maybe stick with one person or just stop watching them altogether. you just maybe haven't found the one that works best for you and who you like, who you're compatible with. Like Alex said, like I love watching Kurt Cobain. Like I love the way that he teaches. And I also love Mike Navarrete. And this is what I'm going to kind of move into the last thing is Mike Navarrete teaches on things that Mike Navarrete taught me a lot about not just risk to reward, but understanding why that's really important. Because I've heard risk to reward before. I heard, yeah, you have to have proper risk management, but I've never seen it applied in the way that he taught it. And that's just how I caught it a lot faster versus maybe watching somebody different. And it's not that they're bad educators. It's just that's not what works for me. That's not what's compatible. Okay. So who do I plug into? Who do you plug into? Why do you plug into them? Why do we consistently plug in? Why do we ask the question, who are you regularly, weekly watching on Go Live? Okay. The reason why we should be plugging in is because you don't know what you don't know. And I think that's what Mike Navarrete has given to me, even Cobain too. I mean, all the educators. But you got to find the one that works best for you and your schedule and your personality, okay, and the way that you maybe learn and understand and how they teach. But this is the biggest principle is you don't know what you don't know. Okay. And that's why I am an adamant student. Like I'm a student first. I'm plugging in with the intention to not just learn, but most likely going to get another reminder about things I already know, but just maybe packaged in a different way. Like they're giving it to me in a way that I haven't heard before, or in a way that I needed to hear again. And this time I'm ready to receive. This time my awareness is elevated. My heart's open. I'm present. Like you just mature in your journey. And so if you needed a reason why you should continue to plug in, you guys are on this call, like it's Thursday, you don't need to be here. It's a volunteer army. You wanted, like, you're hungry to grow. And, if I sent you a text and invited you on this call personally, it's because I want to see you succeed. Like I want you to be present, with us. Like community can help you grow, can hold you accountable, can stretch you, can show you things that maybe you couldn't see, alone. This journey is already tough enough. Don't try to do it by yourself. Be here, be with each other, be at convention, show up whenever you can, just have that hunger and that desire to learn and to grow and to understand. Because when you're just here to chase the money, I promise you're going to walk out of here with no money and you're going to be upset with yourself. But you don't know what you don't know. And that's why I continue to plug in. That's why after, 5+ years of being a part of this platform, I'm still plugging in because, I don't like to say like, oh, I'm humble, but like I'm humble enough to know, I'm aware enough to know that I don't know everything. Okay. And have that spirit, keep that heart, keep that attitude. Okay. So I appreciate you guys for being on this call. I don't want to go over the hour. I want to respect your time. I really just wanted to take some time to pour into you guys and, regroup, recenter, maybe share some things that you needed to hear again in a different way, remind you that you're on the right track. Keep going, keep plugging in, keep showing up, keep putting your feet to the fire, and trust the process, trust the journey, trust yourself. And I think over time, as you continue to keep the promises that you make to yourself, continue to keep the commitments that you've, held for yourself long after the emotion that you made those commitments in have left you, great things can happen. And the result, the fruit of it is worth it. Trust me. You just got to stick around long enough to see it. Just being in the game long enough will promote you. I promise. Okay. So we're going to record it. I love it. We're going to record it. We're going to do the wheel. You guys remember the wheel? We got to calculate who's on the call. So I was going to do a giveaway, and then Alex actually randomly was like, I want to do a giveaway too. And she actually sent me what she's going to do a giveaway on. So I hope you guys are excited. I don't know if you guys are excited or not. I can't tell. I cannot tell. Let's see. All right, let me add everybody's name on here. It's funny, I have the names from the last call, and it makes it a little easier for when I put this in here. All right. While I'm typing this in, let's do this. Type in the chat a win that you've had from this week. Type a win that you've had from this week. and wins are defined by you. Promise I'm almost there. All right, here we go. Okay. Please let me know if you see your name or not. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm winning mentally. That's great. That's great. Dustin says I'm winning mentally. That's good. Marin says new conversations every day. Let's go. Alex said you didn't rush into any trades this week. That is a very big win. That's good. All right, guys. Does everybody see their name? We're not missing anything. Please let me know if we are missing somebody's name. I think we're good. All right, guys, but we're gonna do this twice. And what's nice is, you know, there's only technically 12 of you guys on here, so you have a higher opportunity to win this this giveaway. I'm definitely gonna record this. Okay. All right. Are you guys ready? We're gonna get into it in 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh! Oh my God, Alex!
Oh, thank you. You didn't say what we win.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know. But I don't mind giving away my win.
No, it's okay. I am giving away. I want to give away some crypto, but I always give away Solana. Oh wait, sorry guys. Wait, let me not do that. Sorry, we're gonna redo it. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. All right, do you want? I'm gonna send you some. I'm gonna send you some Solana. Is that okay? Everyone's like, that's not fair.
I prefer whole Bitcoin, but that's okay.
I will not be doing that. All right, let's try this again. Yes, I didn't give you a really great congratulations because I was like, well, hoping somebody else was gonna win. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's get back to it. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to press it again. I don't want to mess anything up. So let me shuffle this real quick. All right, let's do it one more time. This is okay. So I'm gonna send Alex Solana, and this next giveaway is gonna win what Alex has, which is you want to tell them out?
Yeah, so it's actually a VV comic book, 1964 Daredevil number 131, and it's uncommon. So nice little comic book for anyone.
Wow.
An edition, or if this is your first one.
You get a VV drop. She sent it to me. It's dope. All right, this is for the NFT. Let's get it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, perfect. You won, dog. You won. Let's go.
Oh,
Let's go. All right, dog. You won.
thank
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Cool. Alex will send that to you. I guess I'm gonna send Alex some Solana. I guess she can add another to her portfolio. Yeah, guys, I appreciate you for being on here. We're gonna end the call. Thank you guys so much for being present. We're gonna do this again, maybe at the end of August, but maybe at the end of September, honestly, because we're gonna run to convention, and maybe we'll do something special after convention and stuff. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. And